Don't say you down. You gotta stand up and fight. Oh, you got to stand up. For you. For you. Fight.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
For you. Fight.
In person is so much more beautiful.
What up? Welcome to the world's dopest podcast, the Marley State of Mind podcast. We're down here at a Bunch of Bull Studios, as per usual. And we got a special guest with us tonight, Ms. Milli Banks in the house, all the way from LA. How you feeling?
Hey, I'm feeling good. What's good?
Oh man, you know we're lovely. Appreciate you joining us tonight.
Oh,
It's quite the pleasure to have you. The homie on the net just nicknamed us the goat layer, which I like that. I like goat layer. I like that because we have all the goats down here. So welcome to the goat layer.
Hey, in the dungeon for real. I know I'm the greatest of my time, so thanks for having me.
For sure. So I usually like to start the show off with how I was introduced to the artist or how I came to meet the artist. This one's a little bit different. You know, I'm friends with Dion Dupree, Mr. Ground Mode himself. And he hit me up. He said, "Hey man, I got this super talented artist coming from LA on the weekend of the 25th, and I want to see, you know, if you can have him on." Yeah, I was like, anything for you, bro. Then I checked out what you was doing, the music and all that stuff, and I got so excited about the opportunity to have you on this platform and talk about your journey and get to know you a little bit better.
Hey, I definitely appreciate it. I
Hell
know
yeah.
you ain't gonna regret it. You're gonna probably want me back tomorrow.
Yeah.
People easily get attached to me, so.
Yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Yeah, we definitely gonna want you back. You can find your way back out this way. You know what I mean? Reach out to us and we'll love to have you back anytime. Anytime. So for you with music, when was the first time or what was the first song or first beat that you heard that made me say, damn, I'm more than just a spectator with music. Like this is something I love. This is something I want to be a part of.
I say when I heard Biggie Juicy for the first time.
Okay.
Yeah, we sip champagne when we thirsty because
Yeah.
it just made me think. I know when I was younger and I was reading Word Up and stuff like that, it just made me think that I know even though we in a struggle right now,
Right.
I know where I'm gonna be.
Yeah. So you found it to be inspirational when you heard that Biggie track. Mm-hmm. And even being from the West Coast, you was into like East Coast music?
It's crazy because Biggie is like my favorite artist of all time.
For real, me too. That's fire. That's fire. What's your favorite Biggie album?
Album, I listen to all of them. So, you know, when someone is really your favorite, you can't put them
Can't just pick one. Yeah, you can't just pick one.
Can't.
I feel that.
Know, you gotta. That's just like you saying you in love with somebody. And you like, oh, what's your favorite part of that person?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I love their whole being.
Yeah, you can't separate nothing.
No, I feel that. That's yeah. I like that. I like that perspective on it.
Yeah.
I like that perspective on it. So you say you heard Juicy, you heard the struggle, and then you heard the glitz and glamour that comes after the struggle, and you wanted to be a part of that.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
You gotta always stay in the line of a great.
Yeah. No, for sure. Mm-hmm. Now, whenever you heard that, did you immediately pick up your pen and start writing rhymes, or did that come like a little bit later on down the line? When do you remember like the first song that you wrote, or first lyrics, the first songs that you started rapping to?
You know, the first time I actually started writing music, unfortunately, I was pretty bad. I was in juvie, you know, and the teacher, you know, gave us pens. Pens, you didn't have no pens in there, but I was sitting in LP and I did a challenge with this girl in LA and over there at Los Padrinos, and I started writing, but actually writing serious music. That was a couple of years ago where I actually started going back to back and actually writing music.
Yeah, for sure. So you said you was a bad kid coming up?
You know, kind of. It all depends what you consider bad. You know, if your mom is going one way and they're not really being a mother and you got to take care of yourself, I don't really consider that bad. I really just, you're not scary.
You was lacking guidance.
Yeah, lacking a little guidance.
More so than being bad. You just didn't know what path to take.
Mm-hmm. Survival.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you said whenever you was in juvie, you kind of clung to music a little bit more. That brought you closer to the music?
Yeah, they either would play music for us in there sometimes. So, and then the way that music can also motivate you and it could steer you in the right direction as well.
Right.
It's always motivating. I want to be able to be that inspiration on the youth and other people in my time.
Did that reflect on your earlier music? Did you have like were you writing stories that were true to you? Were you writing things that were motivational to you? Did you find it to be therapeutic, like the music for you at that time whenever you first started?
Yeah, music is very therapeutic because it helps me if I take it out of my mind and I put it on a piece of paper,
Mm-hmm.
that's gonna help me stop thinking about it over and over. Because sometimes your mind, if you keep thinking about something, it's like running into a brick wall and you
Yeah.
know it's not a door there. You
Right.
know, so if I take it out of my mind, I can motivate someone else and I'm changing others as well as myself at the same time. So it's kind of, some people hold a lot of stuff in because they be so afraid to cry in front of other people.
Right.
But you holding all that in versus releasing it, you don't know who you could change by just letting it go.
Letting it go. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I like what you're saying there because you can inspire others who are going through the same thing if they hear your experiences. They hear what you're going through in your music, and they might say, "Damn, I thought I was the only one experiencing that.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I was the only one having those problems, but there's somebody else that got the same thing that I got going
Yeah,
on."
real. Real.
And you might be saving someone's life or changing someone's life or providing them that guidance that they may not have.
Mm-hmm.
And now you took something that was negative in your life and you turned into a positive. And like you said, like holding on to those things, it becomes even more negative and it starts to eat you up
Mm-hmm.
even more. But when you let it out, it turns into something beautiful.
Yeah, exactly. You
No,
gotta let it go. So turn my ills into lessons, pain into power. That's the best way to do
yeah, for sure,
it.
for sure. So you and Juvie, you writing rhymes, right? You writing rhymes. You starting to do a little bit more with music. When did you start recording? Was it like immediately after you got out of juvie, or was you still just kind of writing at that time?
Actually, no, it didn't start after that because I experienced like a lot of traumatic stuff after that. But when I was able to get out of that situation, I actually put myself through college. I went through college, and then when I decided to not take that road because I had studied law first, when I decided to not take that road, I ended up focusing more on music. Um, Before I started turning my songs and get in the studio, I actually wrote poetry first. So I put out two
Okay.
poetry books first, and then I decided to turn my poems into actual songs because I could reach more people through music versus poetry. Because I can't think of the last time I heard somebody say, "Let's go get this poetry book." You
Right.
know, so usually I would have to go and perform my stuff as spoken word,
Right.
and then I would sell my books immediately after that.
Okay.
So I decided to turn them into music, and yeah, so the past 4 years now, I've been getting in the studio back to back, just telling my story.
No, that's fire. So you unpacked a lot there, and I definitely want to dig into some of that. So you said you put yourself through college.
Hmm.
That's fire. So you went from juvenile and being a bad kid to taking yourself and putting yourself through
Yeah.
school. What was the turning point in your life where you figured out, even though you didn't have that guidance? What was the time? When did you make that pivot to where you understood, like I need to change things in my life, even though I'm going through these bad times, I'm going through these situations. I need to make a pivot. I need to make a change, or else this
Hmm.
could be my life.
Yeah, I look at it like this. My dad, it's a total of 16 of us. So it's,
Damn, you got 15 siblings?
yeah,
God
yeah.
damn.
So I have 15 siblings, and then I have a little brother and a little sister, but ahead of me, that's at least 14, it's 13 other people ahead of me. So
Hmm.
everybody ahead of me, they didn't, it just seems like that they're not taking their life serious. I don't have anyone to like really look up to. All my older sisters, older brothers, they're not doing anything that's so positive. So I can either stand in that circle with them and I could be down and I could be out, or I could make a difference. And I have to be the one that's going to be something. So when my nieces look up or my nephews look up, they have a positive influence. And I know that I'm not also the only one that's in the state of California that go through that. It's a
Right.
and in LA is that we have this saying: you either rich or you poor, because the middle class, it's like a real big struggle.
Right.
So yeah, I just seen that and realized that one day, and I just refused to be that. I think it hit me big when we had to go live in a shelter downtown LA, and my mom had us living on Skid Row, and I was 14 at the time, and my mom, she just walked out the shelter and left us there. So it was me and one of my sisters at the time that we were staying with her in that shelter, but she just walked and left, and we thought she was coming back, but she didn't. So I had to make something happen, or I could have ended up like one of them kids on drugs, or I could have been homeless still downtown LA. So some battery just got in my back, and I just been going strong ever
Been
since.
grinding ever since.
Yeah.
No, that's beautiful, and I love that you truly took these L's and turned them into lessons, right? You're not even just saying that, but you're really taking it, and because you could have easily, because so many of us and our people fall into the path of familiarity. Damn, that was tough. And we come into what we know, and we just follow that path because my brother did that. I did that. I think Jay-Z said that right in the American Gangster song. You know, if my brother sold drugs, then I'll sell drugs. If he's a doctor, I'll be a doctor. Because it's easy to follow what you know and go down a path of least resistance. But you decided to fight against that.
Yeah.
And that takes a hell of a person to find that motivation within you. To come up out of something like that. So that is a powerful testimony that I think a lot of people can learn from and heal from.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, I ain't saying I haven't had to grind and hustle and be in the streets, but it's like if you're gonna be in them streets, you're gonna be in that street life, you could get stuck there.
Yeah.
So it could be you and 10 of your homies, but somebody gonna end up in jail, somebody gonna end up 6 feet under.
Right.
You know, so which one is gonna be you? You gonna be a leader or a follower? I'd rather swim. I don't want to sink.
Right. Now, was it tough for you to gain that mentality, being one of the youngest of 16, to be a leader, to not just fall into the path of following? Were you always like that, even as a child, like headstrong, not really trying to do what the crowd's doing?
I feel like it started inside the home because I feel like since everyone would pick on me, my sisters, they would open up dog gates. They'd try to push me down on the way to school. They'd tell me I was adopted. They used to just not like me.
Put you through it.
Yeah, they put me through it, and they just would not like me. I was real close to my dad when I was younger and my mom when I was younger before everything happened to me and a lot of other stuff that I had to encounter and that I went through. But I don't know if that's the reason why that they would pick on me so much or because I would get, more friends. I was kind of popular.
You think it might
in
have been some
school.
jealousy that played into it?
Yeah, a lot of people say that. So I guess that was also part of my motivation because it's kids that they end up committing suicide or end up cutting on themselves. They end up doing crazy things.
Some
to
type of
themselves.
self-harm, yeah.
Yeah, it's just something about me. I got this aura and I carry a spirit through God and my ancestors. So I don't, it's nothing that's going to hold me back.
Was your spirituality a strong part of getting you through like a lot of those tough situations, like when you're in the shelters, when you're going through juvie? Was it your spirituality and your faith, did that play a part in getting you through a lot of those situations?
Yeah, I believe that when you feel God, you feel him through energy. It's more of like a spirit that's leading you. So
Right.
you have your shadow, but if you pay attention to signs that we get, like I always tell people, when you're driving in traffic and it's a red light, what do? Some
gotta
people
stop.
run. Yeah. Some
Oh,
people keep going through the light.
Hey, y'all don't do that, man.
right?
Don't be doing that.
Yeah, y'all still go through it, but most of us we stop. But when
We
you see
follow
them
the
red
signs.
flags in people's life or in your life, why do we always keep going? So
Right.
I had to really start paying attention when I get signs and just stop and know the direction that you gotta go in your life.
I like that. Because it's so true. A boat without direction is bound to fall in the sea. So you definitely got to have direction whenever you set sail.
Yeah.
And I like what you said about following signs, because I had a conversation with a friend of mine about coincidence. It was my brother, matter of fact, about coincidence. And I said, I don't believe in coincidence. I think everything happens for a reason. And my brother said he doesn't believe in coincidence because then he feels like we don't have any free will if everything happens by design. But I think it's a balance of both. I think there are pivotal situations that happen in our lives where if we choose this one, like it could lead you here. If we choose that one, it could lead us there. And I don't think that's just coincidence. I think that is some type of divine intervention that's taking place.
Yeah, exactly. We all pick our own path. You could choose whatever direction you want to go in.
Right, 100%.
You gonna hang with negative people, you gonna be in a negative.
Right.
I try to hang with people that can influence me, people that's older than me, somebody that could teach me something that's been here way before me.
Right.
No, yeah.
No, that's a great way to that's a great perspective, because that could change a lot when you understand that the crowd that you're with can a lot of time influence what goes on in your life. You might not even have anything to do with nothing, And you might just be wrong place, wrong time because you're with the wrong people, and find yourself in a situation that you can't get out of. And identifying those type of things
Yeah, I learned
is
that
huge.
living in LA, they have certain that sound like some of the laws we have there. So
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
yeah, you be with too many groups of people, or your group too big, you walking with, you automatically can get put in gang foul doing stuff like that. So no, you got to pick and choose who you put on your board.
right. No, and that's right because LA culture is much different. You know what I mean? Because there's sets everywhere. You got to be careful about the way you talk, the way you dress, and like you said, being with the wrong individuals, they might be banging and you ain't got nothing to do with that. And the cops come around or the ops come around, um,
Yeah,
and you
not
just
even know.
stuck in it. Was that something that you had to learn through experience about changing the people that you're with to get the results that you want?
Yeah, most definitely, because I've been in a crowd where I had friends that were in gangs, um, and then I've been in crowds where I had friends that would work, and some of my friends that they were in gangs. Unfortunately, a lot of them they lost their lives at an early age. So
Right.
I lost a lot of people that I was really, really close to at a real young age, and that also helped me wake up a lot too. Because when you used to being with somebody, like one of my friends, we was together almost every day,
Right.
and then I ended up on the East Coast, and it's like within a few weeks she had got murdered in LA. So it's like it's crazy that you can you could be choosing down one path with somebody, and the next you know, uh, they light switch is just get cut off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
World could be turned dark real quick. So I'm real careful now on what I do and who I move with. Your circle, you got to be real smart about it.
No, 100%. I agree with that 100%. Now, so you said you were making poetry. You're going through school. You're making poetry. You're not really thinking about the music too tough. You're seeing through like poetry isn't having the impact that you want it to have.
Yeah,
Is that fair to say?
yeah,
But you were published whenever you were doing
yeah,
the books. That's
yeah,
fire.
yeah. I have them. They're on Amazon.
That's what's up. Go ahead and
Yeah,
plug it real quick. Go ahead, tell the people how to get a hold of that.
they're on Amazon. They're called Broken. One of my books is called Broken Pieces.
That's
Yeah,
fire.
yeah, it's
For
nice.
sure. Congratulations on that. So you started selling merch, basically by selling the book. You're kind of doing the merch thing. So you're kind of already doing the things that artists do. You got merch. You're performing. You're doing all those things. Do you think that time on the poetry scene was beneficial to your artistry? Do you did it translate for you?
Yeah, I feel like it was real beneficial because I could see which type of poems impacted people, which type of how deep I got, and the more open I got, which poems made people cry, how many people walked up to me after doing that, and then going back to the same open mics and performing some of my songs,
Yeah.
and just getting the shockwaves of people where they thought, oh, you're just a poet, but now, wow, now you're rapping,
Right.
you're a full artist. You can't just put me in one category. And so now I went from poetry books to hair, going from hair to now I have clothing line called Wealthy Savage. So now I'm getting into the men's line now and working on something for y'all. So everything is just it's another chapter over and over.
Evolution.
Yeah.
The evolution of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So you're making the poetry, you make the transition to performing. Do you think like doing the spoken word stuff did that help you in performing as well? Like whenever you're performing music, did you take some of the things you learned from doing the spoken word and use that in your performance?
Oh yeah, of course, of course. Because when you really want to get through to someone, especially with a poem or even with a lyric, um, it helped me be more open to just get in someone's face.
Yeah.
Like get in their face. You're not yelling or cussing them out, but if you capture the eyes of a younger person, and I'm telling you that I got rich off my pain, or I'm going in another club and they hype, and I'm with a gang of females, and I'm telling them, okay, it's time to, we finna eat
Let's
this
change the
club up,
mood.
we
Yeah, yeah.
changing the mood,
Yeah.
or whatever. It just helps me kind of read people a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you always been an individual who it, was able to read a room? Were you that initially before the artistry?
Um, I say when it comes to reading a room, it's something I had to learn because you could walk in a room And you might think just because you're a genuine person, everybody gonna love you,
Right.
everybody gonna like you. But you could walk in a room and just being yourself and not say nothing. A lot of people not gonna like you. So I had to learn to read the room. If you assume, just assume that they don't like you, because most of the time they not. I learned that from a lot of different rooms. So music wise, I don't go through that as much. But when I tried to change my path from being like a juvenile delinquent, then I got a little older and I tried to hit the corporate scene.
Yeah.
And then you're a young black woman, you dress nice, you coming to work with a suit every day. Oh yeah, they gonna hate you. They gonna pretend like they want to work with you, but they gonna talk about you behind your back. So just reading a room like that, observation.
No, and that is a challenge, right? Being a young black woman in corporate America, where there's so few people that look like you. You're dealing with people who aren't where you're from. Their culture may not be what your culture is, and that's things that you have to adapt to. W.E.B. Du Bois once said that as a black American, we live in two Americas. We live in their America and we live in our America, which our language is different sometimes. Our culture is different. We like sweet potato pie. They like pumpkin pie. You know what I mean? Which it ain't not necessarily one's better than the other. Sweet potato pie is obviously better, but but it's different. You know what I mean? And you don't know these nuances when you grow up. When you grow up in our culture, you don't necessarily know that until you get older. Like, oh wow, this
Yep.
is a different type of America than what I'm
Yep.
used to.
Yep.
So no, I couldn't even imagine. I know what it's like for me being a young black man in corporate America. I couldn't imagine, you know what I mean, where you're even more of the minority than even I am, being a young black woman in corporate America. So definitely kudos to you for being able to come through, all that adversity and become this amazing artist that you are. So I definitely want to give you your flowers for
Yeah, I
that.
appreciate it. Yeah, you
Yeah.
gotta always look at stuff from. They say you either gonna hang with pigeons or you gonna be an eagle.
Right.
So you gotta observe first.
Right.
You know.
No, absolutely. So we're making the jump from poetry. We go into the music. Now, when did you start recording, or what was some of the first songs, or if you even remember the first song you recorded, what was it?
My first song that I say I actually recorded and took very serious. I was down in Arizona. I recorded at Salt Mine. I wanted to go to one of the biggest and a major studio where all the celebrities come, all the real rappers come, big major people. Anybody that go to Salt Mine that come to Arizona, when you go there, they have pictures of everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone done with in there. Wayne, Ross, Gunna, everyone you can name they've been to that studio. Um, and I recorded Rich Off Pain there. And I recorded a song about really getting rich off my pain. So it's crazy that that's where I recorded my first song because I wanted to have the energy of greats. But yeah, so I recorded that song. I think it's been almost 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you come across that studio? What made you say, "Yeah, I want to go to Salt Mine Studio and make that my
Yeah.
my first venture into taking this seriously"? How did you reach that step? And I also like to be informational for people who may want to take that same path as you. They might say, "Damn, I want to do that. I want
Yeah.
to be in those studios."
Yeah, just networking, and I was actually hanging with an artist at that time that was trying to push me into doing music more, trying to steer me, like trying to push me out and get me out of my comfort zone. And they invited me to a session one day, and I actually was feeling it, the vibe, just being there in the studio. And then you ever go somewhere like so for example, a lot of people they go to the beach just to relax.
Right.
You find like your comfort space. Some people we enjoy going to a restaurant,
Right.
stuff like that. But
Right.
when they invited me to the studio, it was like I was in a whole nother world.
The
Like it just
studio is your comfort zone.
yeah, yeah. And I realized that day because I was always the one trying to motivate people to take them out their comfort zone. But just being there and anything that you ever went through, you all that is pushed behind you, and it's kind of like a race. So and I kind of fell in love with that moment. So as much as I can, that's where I'm always spending my time.
In a studio? Are you a studio rat? Like you just, even if you're not recording, you like to be in the studio, just being around the music?
Most of the time, yeah, I like to be there. I don't have to live in there to write because I might have an idea and I just put the note in my phone or I'll write it down. But most of the time, yeah, I'll go to the studio and write.
Now, what is your creative process like? What's your vibe in the studio? You like to go with the homies, or you like to go dolo? You like to be prepared when you go to the studio, or do you like to create on the spot? What's your creative process like?
If I come up with a full song on the spot, I might just go lay a reference or something at the house, or me and my best friend, sometimes we get together, we lay references at his house. But when I go, I don't need an entourage of people. Sometimes it's just me and God, it's just me and one other person. I don't have to have a full group, because what I did learn is if I take 10 or 20 people with me to the studio, sometime when an engineer is trying to give you feedback, you got all these other people in the
Trying to
back giving
compete
you
with,
yeah, and they're telling you how they feel. So your song could come out different. You don't know whether are you by yourself, or are you gonna take their opinion. So
right.
take a few chosen ones there with you, and
Who
that's
can
the
really
best way to
contribute to
work.
the process?
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I feel you. I understand that completely, and I always say the same thing. Like, it could take a lot away when you have people who are in there just for maybe not necessarily the right purpose. They might just be trying to party.
right.
You know what I mean? And they're not even contributing anything to the mood, to the vibe. And I think that's an important part of recording, is having the right setting as well. Because you might think it's fire and you might not be getting a reaction outside the booth, and you're like, damn, like this ain't what I thought it
Yeah,
was. And meanwhile, they're really just not paying attention the way that, you know what I mean, to how it should be consumed. And I imagine for an artist like you, who so much of your music is real to you, is true to what you're going through, that's probably really important that you are getting the response that
yeah.
you're looking to get from the songs, and you might not get that because they might not be putting the ear to it that's necessary to get that response.
Yep. So you
For
gotta
sure.
trust people when you
What up,
bring them
Perk?
in there.
We got the viewers out there saying what up. What up,
Oh, what
Jesse?
up? What up?
See y'all out there.
Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, we got Miss Millie Banks in the building. Millie
Thanks.
Banks. Shout out your socials and all that. Why the people got you?
Hey, you know what it is? It's Millie Banks, ITSMILLIBANKS. And I'm pretty sure if you out there get money, you know how to spell banks, or just Google
That's right.
it. Yeah, and
For
that's on
sure.
all platforms: TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. Millie Banks, MILLIBANKS.
For sure. So Rich Off Pain was the first thing that came out of that studio for you. The first music that you took seriously out of recording. Then you said that the title was inspired by what now? I mean, it's. I don't want to come off ignorant because it's obviously Rich Off of Pain, but what truly inspired that title?
My title actually came from just me going through stuff, and I know that the more I tell my story, the better I will become in life.
Right.
Because rich is not just about having a lot of money; it's about being rich in your spirit.
Yeah.
So I'm someone where I'm rich in my spirit. It's not about how much money is in your bank account. Of course, I want to live a good life. I'm
Right.
gonna make sure I'm always good, but I'm a person where I know I'm powerful, and my spirit is very rich.
That's right. Big
Hey.
Banks in the building. No, that's true, right? Rich and Bob Marley said the same thing. He said interviewer asked him if he was rich, and he said, "What do you mean by rich?" And he said, wealth is to me is in friends and love. I don't think monetary wealth is what makes you rich,
Right.
and that's 100% true. There's millionaires that kill themselves.
Yeah.
That get divorces, that go through the same thing that poor people do. So just because you're rich, it doesn't mean that it's going to necessarily take away the pain.
Yeah, exactly. Money
Yeah.
does not always bring happiness.
Yeah.
And having a lot of money, sometimes you might spend it on the wrong things.
Yeah.
So I just want to make sure that I'm able to be someone that I can motivate my people and I can feed the people first. It's just like when I got into Famous, my song Famous, I spent money. I flew to Atlanta. We fed the homeless. We filmed it and everything. And we let that be part of the music video.
Yeah.
So it's really about giving back. You have all that money, and then when you pass away and you did nothing for no one, when you stand before God, what answer are you gonna give? It's still in
Right.
my account. It's getting fought over back on earth at the end of the day.
Right. You didn't really leave a legacy behind
Right.
after it's all said and done. And you talked about Famous, so I think we're going to go ahead and get into Famous. Kayla, you ready for me for the sound? We got Jesse's away at the Comic-Con, man. The big bull himself's away,
Missing
so,
out.
Yeah, he was upset that he wasn't going to be here. I ain't going to lie
Oh.
to you, so.
I'll be
He's
back.
tuned
I'll
he's
come back
tuned
and
in,
see
though.
you.
He's tuned in. This is the track Famous. So you want to intro this track before we get started? I don't want to play by
Hey,
mistake.
this is Millie Banks, and you guys are tuned in. We are about to view a Famous
That's right.
exclusive.
Marley State of Mind podcast.
Let's get it.
This is
Mama.
Milli Banks on all platforms, famous.
It's a definitely this real good video attached to this too.
It's okay. We're about to plug that video.
Prolific, persistent, been grinding my whole damn life for this. I want it, I get it, I sacrifice once too much, twice for this. I've been through some things, threw dirt on my name. Yeah, it's bigger than fame. Too real to be famous. Long nights, roll my dice, I'ma strike it twice. Champagne, put on ice, he talking to me nice. Somewhere posted in the hills, changing up my life. I need something I can feel, don't need no advice. I know too many who ain't real, circle full of mice. Watching out for my company, gotta be precise. I've been thinking bigger lately, changing up my price. Investing in real estate, make sure we all get right. Bossing over when we eating, I like shrimp and rice. Money conversations, that's just what I like. Calculate my moves before I call it strike. Can't be nobody bitch, I'm somebody's wife. Help him get his money up, I'm his favorite type. We hustle together, baby, we like day and night. We changing the weather, better win than paradise. Feel me? Prolific, persistent, been grinding my whole damn life for this. I want it, I get it, I sacrifice once too much, twice for this. I've been through some things, threw dirt on my name. Yeah, it's bigger than fame. Too real to be famous. Got a story, it's about time I tell it. I've been through some shit, my loyalty indebted. I show too much love, but I don't regret it. Cause this credit don't decline, it ain't got no limit. Somewhere in the hills with an ocean view. Make sure my family good, it's a chosen few. Take care of your people, that's what you supposed to do. I work hard to change my life, I'm always pushing through. I'm a visionary, greatness in the making. If you doubted me, then you must be mistaken. This shit get legendary, it's not for the taking. Tunnel vision on my journey, I've been paper chasing. Gotta stay busy, cause I can't get complacent. Came a long way from the bottom, I was in the basement. Keep it real with myself, I'm forever blatant. You can't understand these sacrifices you ain't making. Feel me? Prolific, persistent, been grinding my whole damn life for this. I want it, I get it, I sacrifice once too much, twice for this. I've been through some things, threw dirt on my name. Yeah, it's bigger than fame. Too real to be famous.
Yeah.
And the crowd goes crazy for Milli Banks.
Oh, they definitely was knocking their.
Oh God.
They was definitely rocking their. They was definitely rocking in the background with us too.
Say that louder.
Yeah.
And the crowd goes crazy for Milli Banks. Oh,
As they
God.
should. That's right. No, I love that. I love that track, and I could definitely see what you were saying
Yeah.
about the struggle, and I can hear it in your music. I can hear you overcoming all of that in the music, and it's something to be said for that. And I think that's what makes real legacy artists, whenever you can touch on people's emotions. It's not just sounds and background things. I mean, it may knock, it may rock, but it's when people could listen to it 10 years later and still give them the same feeling the first time they heard it that makes it special. And I think you understood that early on, whenever you started doing music, especially the fact that it came from poetry for you, because that's a real pure place. Whenever you're doing poetry, it's a real pure place that it's coming from. Now, do you still write songs like poems, or do you approach songs more like songs now?
The way I write now, it might, I don't think you could write rap like poetry. It's good that I was a poet prior, because poetry is a lot longer when you write. It's a lot longer the way it flows.
Right.
It's like water, and I feel like rap is just ice. Like rap is real cutthroat.
Right.
So I guess when I was a poet, I was a nice, and now I'm rapping. It's like, okay, stop fucking playing with me.
Yeah.
You know, that's what you have to turn into.
You got the chip on your
So,
shoulder.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So famous. That's the track. Now is that just a single, or are you gonna put that on the album as well?
Yeah, that'll definitely be on an album once I decide the direction that I want to go in. If I want to do an EP or mixtape, or if I want to just go into a full album first.
Yeah. You still going through that process of thinking about exactly
Yeah.
what you want to do with that. That's what's up. No, so you still have famous. So no, you still have famous the single. We have another single, Most Hated.
Yeah.
Why don't you intro Most Hated for us? We'll play that for the people.
All right. So the reason why I came up with Most Hated is because, like how I told y'all earlier, a lot of people in my family, they just made me feel like that they just hated me, and it's like I could never understood the reason why. But and I also think about it's a lot of people that also been in my life that would pick on me, and they think that they can stop me, but I'm never gonna stop. So, but I know why I'm most hated because I know I'm gifted. So most hated, here it is from Milli Banks.
I like that. You know why you most hated? Because you're the most gifted.
Yeah,
So this is Milli Banks, Most Hated on all platforms. Make sure y'all tune in.
check it out. This is completely opposite now. All right, you ain't gonna be emotional. You're gonna want to get in the ring with this one. We getting in the ring.
Hold on.
Yeah, 'cause we
Make
gonna
sure
have
that come through.
I have to turn them all the way up.
The speakers on, Caleb?
Scared, so they ride and dip.
Don't
Call
run
me
that back.
bougie
We don't want to
bitches,
miss none of
basic.
that. We don't want to miss none of that. Milli Banks, Most Hated.
Most hated.
Make sure they get all that.
Hey.
Youngest and the most hated. Topic of the conversation. Scared, so they ride and dip. Call me bougie bitches, basic. Money longer, different bracket. Different level, how I stack it. You can't reach it, never match it. I'm the ish, I'm really happy. Niggas fake, they really capping. We be stepping, really smashing. We the shit, you really smell it. Fuck who asking me, I'm telling. It's a movie, hear me yelling this. Millie hit a lick. In my lane, got a motion sick. Get extorted quick. I'm the dope you niggas snorted with. And got pussy whipped. Smell imported like I got a brick. About to hit the strip. That's a easy flip. Flood the streets with drip. Ooh, I got 'em sick. Don't make me up a stick. Blowing empty clips. Stretch you out like some pussy lips. Hater, close your lips. We exposing shit. Niggas broken dead. I bet you owe a bitch. Yeah, I'm that. And you knowin' this. Better check the stats. Shakari Richardson running this. I ain't looking back. Youngest and the most hated. Topic of the conversation. Niggas talking instigate. Why they mad that Millie made? Going up, we elevate. Fuck who not participate. I'm the most anticipated. Ain't you glad that niggas waiting? Youngest and the most hated. Topic of the conversation. Niggas talking instigate. Why they mad that Millie made? Going up, we elevate. Fuck who not participate. I'm the most anticipated. Ain't you glad that niggas wait? Did I forget to mention I'm Big Millie from the trenches? When you see me, show respect. Just respect my diamonds glisten. I was blinded by ambition. Going viral is the mission. When they see me, got 'em whispering. Snakes steady hissing, man. Listen, man. When I cut the grass, the haters show. When they lift their head up, I'ma stop them all. Just so you would know. I ain't missed a meal yet. And I'm trying to eat some more. I gotta blow. Like I cocked it back and let a couple go. Silence all the doubters and I quiet all the bitter hoes. Unexpected like a summer cold. Check my temperature. Hot as fuck, I need a hospital. Cinematic, bro. Adding pressure, so I up the scope. Now we 10 and 0. Youngest and the most hated. Topic of the conversation. Niggas talking instigate. Why they mad that Millie made? Going up, we elevate. Fuck who not participate. I'm the most anticipated. Ain't you glad that niggas wait? Youngest and the most hated. Topic of the conversation. Niggas talking instigate. Why they mad that Millie made? Going up, we elevate. Fuck who not participate. I'm the most anticipated. Ain't you glad that niggas wait?
So that's Most Hated on all platforms.
Yeah, that's definitely on all platforms. So, anybody hating on you, feel free to let them know the reason why you are hated. Send that song to them.
Yeah, send that to the haters one time. They thinking about you. Let them know you thinking about them one time. Just one
Right,
time though.
right. Send it.
So you said you got the video for Famous out right now?
Yeah, Famous and Most Hated video out now. It's out. It's on YouTube, or if you on Spotify, you see clips of it behind
Okay.
the songs playing.
Yeah, for sure. Make sure y'all check those out. So you said you're not sure if you want to do the album, the mixtape thing, or the EP.
I'm not sure yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm waiting on more answers from above, trying to see what direction I get pointed in. But I'm gonna know soon by the end of this month which direction I'm gonna
Yeah. Are you one of those people who like the hoard music? You got a lot of
go.
music in the tuck right now.
Yeah, yeah, I got a lot.
Yeah.
I got a lot put up, you know. But I look at my music as, all right, you just been saving a whole bunch of money, and then you just waiting on the right direction to go into where you want to put that investment,
Ain't nothing
so
wrong
that
with
way
that.
it could grow even more.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got a lot tucked away. I got a lot.
I always wonder with artists who hold on to music like that. Is it because you're a perfectionist and you want to make sure it's like right timing, like you got a plan for it and you want to make sure everything's right, or is it just because you just don't want to put it out there. You just don't want it.
For me, it has to do with just timing, making sure that um, I'm. So I'm a type of person where I like to be aware of my audience.
Yeah.
So just make sure I'm in front of the right audience. So with that time, and then also when I write music and after I lay it, after I did a good job, I'm like, okay, what's next? I don't never want to get stuck on a song. So
Right.
it's not holding on to it because I'm like, oh, I'm so in love with this track. I take it as like, okay, I could go back and listen to this, and I know did it before, so let me keep going.
Right.
So I try to challenge myself monthly to, okay, make sure you're writing this amount of songs a week. Don't go
Okay.
a day without writing a song, a full
Yeah.
song. Put something down.
Yeah.
You know, think about it as like a real job. Keep
Yeah.
working. So that's why stuff is put up, because I'm still working on the rest.
Do you go back and touch up the songs that you might have worked on before? Are you a person that goes back and like, no, let me change this on it, let me change that on it, or do you just
Uh,
let it breathe?
it just depends. If it's something that I wrote, like I just wrote something, I just got stuck and just kept writing, I might lay a reference to it and listen to it for a few days, and then I'll go into the real studio and lay it what I want to edit. But if I already done mixed and mastered, no, I don't change nothing.
I feel that. No, I'm with you on that. It don't make no sense to let's let this thing breathe. We got to let it go at some
Yeah,
point in
you
time.
can't get used to it.
Now, who were some of your influences? I know you're a West Coast artist, but you cited Biggie early on as being an inspiration to doing music. But who are some of your influences? Like who's your top five, if you
Top
will,
five?
as far as influence go? It don't have to be the best, but just the people that you like to listen to.
Well, what I listen to almost every day, people would be surprised because I like oldies. So my favorite song after Biggie is like Shy Lights. I Want to Pay You Back. I
Yeah.
listen to that. I have a like a old soul.
Mm-hmm.
So outside of that, I like YG. Of course, I like Nip, Meek Mill. 50 was a real big inspiration because he's a mogul. So I like the fact that I watched him go through music. I watched him, he got his shows, he had his clothing line, he was in a group that got broken off, but he was at one that kept going. So he just
Yeah.
kind of reminded me of the situation that I was in, with my family. I'm the one that had to
Keep going.
keep going, you know what I'm saying? I had to keep swimming all the way till you get to the end and make it.
No, it seems like entrepreneurship's important to you as well.
Yeah.
Even when you were doing the poetry, you spoke about getting a book and getting it published and selling
Yeah.
the book. You spoke about the merch. One more time, the name for me for the other
What?
merch.
So for the men, it's Wealthy Savage. Well, it's kind of unisex because, we can wear y'all clothes, y'all can't wear ours.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and then I have Pretty Wealthy Savage for the women.
Okay, that's fire. So you got the merch, the brand, if you will, and what brought about that entrepreneurial spirit for you? What made that so important to you to not only just do this as an artistry, but also monetize and make it a business as well? Where did that come from for you?
I never wanted to be one of those people that, and it's no shade to anyone that work, for a long time, but I never wanted to be one of those people that they say, oh, you go to work and they're like, I've been working here 20 years, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, dang, you sat at this company for 10, 20 years and you haven't been able to really enjoy your life. Because if you clocking in for 20 years, so you haven't been able to really enjoy your life and go anywhere.
Right.
And why would I work for someone else when I have
Making
so
them
many
rich.
talent? Yeah,
Yeah.
making, you know, why would I want to work for someone else's dream when I can be building mine?
Right.
So I've always had that mindset of, and of course with me loving to hustle and make my own money and spend and do whatever I want when I want. I don't want to have to wait on, oh, I have to put in vacation or
Right.
you got to wait till you get paid.
You like the independence that comes with
Yeah.
being a business owner.
Yeah, I don't like waiting on a check. I've never, I just can't. It's sickening to say, okay, I gotta wait till I get paid. You know, you gotta have
Right.
something else.
Yeah. No, that's real. That's real talk. And the reason I bring that out because you spoke about 50 Cent and his entrepreneurship and how he's able to do movies and clothing and had the music and the group and all of these things. And it seems like that's important to you as well, is to not just be known as one thing, but you want to be many things. You said you keep evolving.
Yeah, you gotta be a jack of all trades. Nip did the same thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he had a lot of different businesses inside of his music. He did a lot of things. So yeah, I want to be able to, if it's someone that they might not like rap so much, but they can go on my site or another one of my sites and they might not even know I'm the owner that's sitting behind that.
Right.
You know, so just being able to offer way more stuff.
Diversify.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got to be.
No, that's important, and it's nice that you grasped onto these concepts so early on. Even before your musical career, even before the poetry, you're still going to school and trying to better yourself and still trying to, find your way. And I can, and I'm glad that you came here to share your testimony with us and talk about it. What can we look forward to coming up? What you got coming up soon? You got some shows lined up, or?
Yeah, definitely here. Actually, we'll be at Club Elegance, right? We'll be at
At
we'll
Club
be at-
Elegance.
Yeah, we'll definitely be there tonight. Where else we're gonna be at? We'll be at Hang Time Hookah Lounge tonight.
Hell yeah.
Then you can actually catch me. I'll be in North Carolina. I believe that's in July. So I have a show coming up then. I'll be in Connecticut in August. And then you heard of Taste of Soul?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
yes. I'm like, you black. I know you heard of Taste of Soul.
Yeah.
So yes, I'll actually be down in Houston in September. So I have a lot of stuff that's coming up, and that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
So as long as you stay in touch, you're gonna hear from me a lot more.
Yeah. And drop the socials one more time so they can stay in touch.
Yeah. So like I said, it's your girl Milli Banks. So it's ITSMILLIBANKS Banks. You can follow me on Instagram, TikTok. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Twitch. I'm on Big O. I'm everywhere where the people is be. I might just be in your ear. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. You're definitely traveling and moving. And what about collaborations and stuff like that? You open to collaborations with artists and producers?
Yeah, most definitely. I'm the type of person, because I know sometimes people say, oh, just get one producer, get one engineer, but you never know how somebody can paint
Right.
your picture, how they can tune something to be different. So I have several different people that I work with. As you see, as more of my music that you listen to, nothing sounds exactly
The same. Yeah.
the same.
Is
Yeah.
that important to you? Versatility?
Yes, because I know me, when I listen to somebody, if everything sounds the same, I will get tired of someone
Get bored with it, right?
fast. Yeah, because it'll sound like I'm just listening to the
The
same
same song over, yeah.
Yeah, like you just extended the song and chopped it up and changed the
The
chords.
tempo a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that. It's important for me to be different, because if I'm not your favorite rapper, I'm gonna sound like your favorite rapper on another song, then another song and another song.
Right.
So it's important to be different.
No, I like that for sure.
But yeah, you want to work, you want to collab, just DM with me. I'm open to features. I'm looking forward to working with some other artists too coming up. So just stay on the way.
Yeah, man. And if she's in your area, she just told you where she's going to be. So make sure y'all get a hold of her, collaborate, make some beautiful music. It's definitely happening. But I appreciate you joining us tonight down here at the Bunch of Bulls Studios, Marley State of Mind podcast, The Goat Layer. I like the
Hey.
Goat Layer. That's fire. Shout out Brody Casanova for that, bro.
Hey.
The Goat Layer. And you're definitely a goat. the music that I heard prior to you coming off. I heard some of that stuff. I definitely tuned in and watched the videos
Oh,
and
most definitely.
seeing what you had going on,
Yeah.
and I was very excited to have you join us while you're in the area, and look forward to if you ever buy again. You know, what I mean, you got a home here at Bunch of Bull Studios,
Oh,
so
I appreciate it.
come and rock out with us.
Yeah, and since you have goats, you just go look up Milli Banks goat mode. Just go on and make that the theme for your intro and your puss and sister goat.
Yeah, yeah, we doing
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. But yeah, shout out to Dion Grimo. Shout out to
Yeah,
One
shout
Man
out
One Dream
Grimo.
Entertainment, Wealthy Savage, Millie Banks in the building.
Yes,
You
sir.
know, I really appreciate y'all.
Yeah, for sure, man. Shout out Dion, man. I appreciate you, bro. We're gonna keep it moving for sure. And next Saturday, we'll be back again with another episode of the world's dopest podcast, the Marley State of Mind podcast, down here at a Bunch of Bull Studios. Till next time, we out.
Peace.